Exclusive. Gold Rush Kevin Beets to the rescue for Tony Beets' latest problem. Gold Rush is past the halfway marker, and the season has been tough on the king of the Klondike. Now the mechanical problems are stacking up once again for Kevin Beets and his dad Tony Beets, who has invested as much in his own family, in their hands-on education, as he has financially in massive equipment. Beets is not the only one facing some hard truths. Like last week, Parker Schnebel worried about his mining future by trying to find a new claim. But this week, Tony is at the halfway mark for his season goal, and if not for his son Kevin, a mechanic, he would be paying out a lot of money in repairs. In TV shows as exclusive clip, Tony says, "Here we are, the season is kind of running out, and we're only halfway on that 4,500 ounce goal." In our clip below, Tony explains his rationale. He wants to ensure his work efforts achieve generational wealth, and he has no intentions of ever retiring. Over halfway through the mining season, boss Tony Beets, the king of the Klondike, is battling to make a comeback after a disastrous miscalculation left him unable to mine an Indian River. So far, with one wash plant running on Paradise Hill, he's mined just over 2,000 ounces of gold. Explaining his problem in the clip, Tony says, "We are a good $5 million in the hole because of the equipment we got that 11. We got the 950. We got a whole pile of rock trucks. I certainly would like to hit our goal." Now he's pinning his hopes on gold-rich white channel pay dirt from the 25-acre wall cut. The point of all this work is for his family, who surround him, work for him, and are the bedrock of his business. Tony says, "I've been doing this for 38 years, and I'm not going to retire. I'm actually going to get as much gold out of the ground, get as much money in me pocket as I can. Then our kids don't have to worry about asterisk thing." One of his workers, Brad Merritt, radios Tony to tell him that the feeder keeps shutting down and starting and stopping. Tony agrees with Brad and tells him to shut the feeder down. He calls the eldest son Kevin to investigate. Kevin climbs into the feeder and immediately sees the issue is wear and tear. He says, "It's going to be anywhere be over here." "Oh yeah, that's it right there. The sprocket is no longer a sprocket. It is now an idler, meaning the teeth that grab the rail ain't there no more. She's smooth. No wonder she's skipping. So that means she's pretty bare. At the minimum, we'd have to replace that sprocket." Gold Rush airs Friday at 8 p.m. ET/PT on Discovery. In addition to watching the series on Discovery, viewers can check out new episodes each week on Discovery Joe. Additionally, viewers can join the conversation on social media by using the hashtag #GoldRush. Exclusive. Gold Rush Kevin Beets to the rescue for Tony Beets' latest problem in the unforgiving wilderness of the Klondike, where the promise of gold fuels the ambitions of miners and the weight of history bears down on every decision. Few names stand as synonymous with grit and tenacity as Tony Beets, the self-proclaimed king of the Klondike. Tony's larger-than-life persona has become a fixture on Discovery Channel's Gold Rush for over a decade. But even legends encounter moments where their vast experience, expertise, and wealth can't buy them an easy way out. That's where Kevin Beets, Tony's eldest son, steps in. While Tony may be the face of the operation, it's Kevin who has emerged as the steady hand behind much of the heavy lifting, especially when things go south, sometimes literally. For all of Tony's success in building a massive gold mining empire in the harsh terrain of the Yukon, the season's latest disaster has called for a level of expertise that, by the looks of it, might be a bridge too far for the old man. The problem? A catastrophic failure with the Beets family's primary dredge, the massive floating excavator, the 10Minit, which has long been the crown jewel of the Beets mining operation. Its breakdown has brought Tony's operations to a grinding halt, and with the season's timeline quickly ticking away, it's time for Kevin to rise to the occasion. The breakdown of the dredge. It's been a season of highs and lows for Tony Beets. On one hand, he's had the satisfaction of seeing his operation expand, with massive gold hauls bringing in millions, and his two younger children, Monica and Mike, learning the ropes of running the business. But on the other, unforeseen problems have arisen, with mechanical failures plaguing his equipment and causing a significant delay to his mining efforts. The biggest issue? The Tlingit, a critical piece of Tony's operation, suffered a serious malfunction when its transmission system broke down. For Tony, this was not just a mechanical setback, it was a devastating blow that threatened to derail the entire mining season. Given the scale of the machine and the complexity of the repair, without the dredge working, the team's ability to process the gold they need to meet their goals for the season is compromised, and their entire operation is in jeopardy. Despite Tony's decades of experience, he has a well-known aversion to modern technology and often relies on brute strength, mechanical intuition, and his crew's expertise. However, in this case, even Tony's skills weren't enough to figure out how to fix a broken piece of machinery that's more complicated than a simple engine. Enter Kevin Beets. Kevin Beets, the 32-year-old heir to the Beets gold mining empire, has always had a different approach to mining than his father. While Tony's methods lean heavily on experience, brute force, and the belief that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Kevin has adopted a more analytical mindset. Having grown up around heavy machinery, Kevin has learned to balance both the mechanical and technological aspects of mining, even incorporating newer, more efficient tools and techniques into their operations. As a result, Kevin is often the person who steps in when things get out of hand. He's no stranger to machinery breakdowns, especially with large-scale operations like those in the Beets family business. But what makes him different from his father is his ability to embrace new ideas and the latest in mining tech. He's the one who'll read the manuals, understand the schematics, and troubleshoot problems from a more strategic perspective. For Kevin, it's not just about the gold. It's about getting it out of the ground the most efficient and effective way possible. A father-son dynamic like no other. While the tension between Tony and his kids has been a long-running storyline on Gold Rush, there's no question that Tony's pride and stubbornness have often created a difficult environment for his children to grow up in. Tony's methods are tried and true, but his reluctance to change has created a divide between him and the younger generation, especially Kevin. Kevin, who has always had an interest in the technical side of mining, often finds himself at odds with his father, who tends to distrust modern technology. For Tony, the hard work and persistence required in old-school mining are sacred, while Kevin sees the potential for better processes, efficiency, and fewer breakdowns. Despite these differences, Kevin has remained loyal to his father and the family business. In many ways, he's the bridge between Tony's traditional approach and the future of mining. Kevin's knowledge of both mechanical repair and new-age technology has made him an invaluable asset to the operation, especially when the team runs into trouble that Tony's methods just can't solve. Rising to the occasion when the dredge's transmission broke down, Tony immediately called for help. He attempted to fix the problem with his crew, but the issue was too deep-rooted for traditional approaches. The stakes were high. Not only was time running out for the season, but a malfunctioning dredge would set them back far beyond what they could recover from. That's when Kevin arrived on the scene, ready to tackle the issue head-on. Unlike his father, Kevin didn't flinch when faced with a complex problem. Instead, he dove into the machine's systems, diagnosing the issue and laying out a plan to get the dredge operational again. For Kevin, It wasn't just about fixing a machine. It was about getting the family's livelihood back on track. He quickly assessed that the failure wasn't something that could be fixed in a few hours. It required a delicate balance of mechanical know-how, patience, and ingenuity. The team would have to disassemble key components, replace specific parts, and recalibrate the dredge's delicate systems to bring it back to life. It would be an expensive and time-consuming repair, but Kevin was confident it could be done. The tension builds as Kevin and his crew worked tirelessly to get the dredge up and running. Tony hovered over the operation, his impatience simmering beneath the surface. While he trusted Kevin's abilities, he still wasn't fully convinced that his son could handle the intricacies of modern machinery. Every few hours, Tony would pop in to check on the progress, his gruff demeanor a reminder of the high stakes. For Kevin, this was just another challenge to overcome. But the constant scrutiny from his father only added to the pressure. In a particularly tense moment, Kevin snapped at Tony, frustrated with his overbearing presence. "I know what I'm doing, Dad," he exclaimed. "I'm not some kid anymore." Tony, of course, didn't take well to this, but in typical fashion, he backed off. He might not always agree with his son's methods, but he knew that Kevin had the expertise and the drive to get the job done. After days of hard work and countless hours spent navigating the dredge's complex mechanical systems, Kevin finally got the transmission working again. The Tlingit was back in action, a moment of reflection in the aftermath of the